해당 게임은 공포게임이며 전체 이용가가 아닙니다. You know what I'm saying? 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다. 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시작만이 존재합니다. 이것은 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. 약간 로맨스 게임인가봐. Slay the Princess. 이분이 프린세스야? 챕터 1 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
풀더빙이야?
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
이렇게 좀 둘러볼 수 있어.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
공주를 안 죽이면은 세상이 멸망? 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리지? 이게 약간 선택지가 되게 많아. 선택지 왜 이렇게 많아? 선택지 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉. 들어서 떠난다 이런 것도 있네. 리얼? 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리지?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
세상을 지키기 위해 공주를 죽여야 하는 것인가? 탐색. 이게 탐색이지. 그거네. 물어보는 거. 뭔 소린가. 하지만 지하실에 갇힌 공주가 어떻게 세상을 끝장낸다는 거야?
Linger on the specifics. You have a job.
말 안 해주는 거 보고서.
Get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
뭐지? 그 말에 증거는 있어?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far. You might as well reach the end of your journey.
애초에 공주를 가둬놓았기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장내려 하는 거 아니야?
While I appreciate the mental exercise we are running up
제대로 설명 좀 해봐. 자꾸 그냥 넘어가려고 하네.
She's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
이 해설자 누구지?
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this
천천히
situation.
하자.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
아직 나를 설득 못
It's no use
시켰어.
arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
뭐지?
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
좀 그런데? 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽이다니 너무 심하지 않아?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
나 말고 다른 사람한테 맡길 순 없는 거야?
Oh, if only that were the case.
왜 하필 나지?
I don't make the rules.
왜지? 내가 약간 공주 잘 죽이게
I'm
생겼나?
surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who
그렇게
can pull this
생겼나
off.
봐.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
자기가 누군지 소개도 제대로 안 해. 내가 세상이 끝장난다고 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거란 가능성은 생각 안 해봤어?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
진짜로?
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
이 일에 보상 같은 건 없어?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you
보상이
get it.
뭔지도 말 안 주는 거 보고서 뭐지? 일을 성공적으로 해낸다면 어떤 보상을 받게 되지?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you.
이런 건
Whatever
좀
you think it might
이제
be, I can promise you it's going to be even better
좀 이제
than
그렇지
your
않나.
wildest imagination.
약간 그런 느낌. 그 상상하던 건 간에 그 이상으로 좋을 거. 탐색은 그러면은 그냥 대화 나누는 거. 됐어, 나 안
Are you
할래.
serious? No, you have to do it.
좀 더 설득해봐. 여기까지 이제 뭐 물어보는 거였고, 이제 여기 정해야 되나봐. 일단 오두막에 가서 공주와 대화해보겠어. 만약에 정말 공주가 네 말대로 사악하다면 나 공주를 죽일지도 모르지. 하지만 직접 만나보기 전엔 아무것도 단정 지을 생각 없어.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies.
그래도 대화 한번
The more
해봐.
you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
되게
You'll
분위기
find the
좋아.
princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to
너무
save
목소리 뭐지?
princesses, not slay them.
약간 마음의 소리?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
우둔하게 들어가자. 오, 연출 보소.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a
단검?
plain wooden
주머니
blade
넣어.
is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
난 단검을 주머니에 넣어.
You take the blade from the table.
이제 이거 제
It'd
겁니다.
be rather difficult to slay
굳이
the princess
공주를
and save the
죽이는데
world
안 써도
without it.
이건 내 거야. 다시 들어가자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is
누가
probably
이런
doing her
곳에
a favor.
잡아놓은 거지?
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
안녕.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
가보자.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
아니 뭐 힘은 없나 봐.
She's so
그럼 어떻게
coldly
세상을
beautiful.
멸망시키는 거야?
Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
그럴 리가. 내가 왜 그러겠어.
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away.
이것은
doesn't it?
이제 내 보물.
The
나 이제
blade.
그
Of course she doesn't want to talk.
득템한
We'd want to have a
보물.
conversation at knife point. We should
주머니
talk.
안 넣었네. 이걸 왜 손에 들고
Don't
있어?
you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
단검을 그냥 떨어져 나중에 줍자. 이제
The
주머니가
blade
없나
tumbles
봐.
out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
그래, 칼 들고 있는 분이랑 대화하긴 좀 그렇지.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
그럼 뭐 이거도 못 푸는 분인데 뭔 일 있겠어?
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
300안.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
관계? 지금 날 유혹하는 거야?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
그냥 관계. 난 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 해서 왔어.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
밥은
Just how
뭔가?
long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall?
하긴 그래.
Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
네가 알려줄 거라 생각했는데.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
뭐지?
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing
어떻게 하는
it.
거지?
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
신뢰 중요하지.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
맞아. 설명을 안 해줘.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
알아갑시다.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending
그래,
the
그
world?
해설자 내 신뢰 얻고 싶으면은 너도 내 앞에
She's
나타나.
wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no
아, 이거
less.
약간 설득력이 없어. 이름이 뭐지?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any
그냥
honorific should
공주.
do, really.
공주야.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
여기 얼마나 오래 있었어?
Too long.
오케이야, 널 여기서 나가게 할 수 있지?
You can't. Don't bother.
그냥 막 물어보는 건데
I'm
어때?
guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
칼로 이걸 열 수 있다고?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
대화는 이제 충분해.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
대화 충분하나? 오, 죽인다 뭐지? 한번 풀어줘봐. 진짜 어떤 분인지 한번 보자. 나 할 수 있게 도와주지.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them
단단해.
apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
어떻게 알지?
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
과연? 하지만 열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각이 있어? 네 팔을 자르는 거 빼고? 아니야, 이걸 왜 빼지? 위로 올라가 보지. 여기 어딘가 열쇠가 있을지도 몰라. 만약 없다 해도 족쇄를 부술 만한 걸 찾을 수 있겠지.
I'll be here.
여기 한번 둘러볼래.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You
저기야?
hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
뭐지?
Is someone else here?
문 열어. 어이.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
문 한번
You
열어봐.
try the door,
내
it's
힘으로.
locked from the outside. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess,
자꾸
and you
쪼네.
won't leave until the task is done.
자, 나 내려가자.
You
어쩌겠어.
make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you
왜
were
이렇게
supposed to.
서두르지?
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
진짜로?
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
하긴 칼로 이건 안 잘라지겠지. 너무 단단해 보여.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구해.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against
더
the
나은
princess's
선택지가
arm, just
뭐지?
above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
서로를 무시하고 있다.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
평온한 거 보소.
Thank you. Now let's get out of
안
here.
아픈가 봐. 갈 수 있나?
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high.
응,
You
나갈
can't just let her escape into the
거야.
world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
잠깐만. 손이 왜 이래? 손톱 보소. 더러워. 이게 영웅이라고?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
뭐지? 헉, 공주를 죽인다 게 없어. 경고한다.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
이 해설자라는 이분이 약간 강제로 하게 만드는 것 같은데 공주를 죽인다. 저항한다.
The blade. Move
안
the
해.
blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
뭐지?
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
No!
And then she slits your
아,
throat
내
with
목을?
almost clinical ease.
저기야?
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
뭐지?
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
갔어. 챕터 2 죄수
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
뭐지?
And in the
사랑하나?
basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
어? 난 죽었을 텐데 왜 내가 여기 있는
I can
거지?
assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. Don't forget what he did to us the last time.
의심의 목소리 또 뭐 하나 생겼어.
There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
뭐지?
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way.
저 해설자는 모르나 봐.
You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
나는 다 기억하는데 이분은 몰라. 내 말대로 이 모든 일이 일어났던 일이라고 치자. 왜 내가 네 말을 들어야 하지? 이 모든 일에 의미가 있냔
Those are two
말이야.
very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony.
누구인가?
That's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good
이런
reason.
일을
Did you try and
한두
free
번 하지
her?
않았어.
Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I
뭐지?
really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time
뭔가
around didn't have any
그
consequences.
전생 일이긴 해도 이어지는
What do you
건가?
mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You
하긴
forced the
챕터
princess to kill us and now
2니까
everyone's right back where they started.
아직 끝난
That
게
sounds pretty
아니야.
consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
아
Do you think
뭔가
the people there lived happily ever after? Or do
세상이
you think that
하나가
the
아니고
princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to
여기는
everyone
내가
and
살아있는
everything,
새가?
just like I
그럼
told you she would?
전에 기억 오케이는 거지?
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain inevitable
그래 우리
threat to the
공주나
world,
다시 만나러
four of us
가봐.
wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles.
아 다음 생에서 만나자고 했으니까
No, I'm talking in facts.
만나러 가자. 아 공주에 대해 이야기 해보자.
Just be quick about it.
근데 뭐 있으려나? 뭔 얘기 해주려나? 누가 그녀를 지하실에 가뒀지? 이곳은 대체 어떤 곳이야?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you
사람들.
what this place is.
그
It's a
누군데?
path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
사람들이 누군데? 사람이 뭐 한둘인가? 사람들이 그녀를 가뒀다면 왜 구자들은 공주를 죽이지 않은 거지? 어째서 내게 떠넘기는 거야?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's
스페셜.
because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are.
나만 할 수 있는 일?
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
모습이나 그
Yes.
나타내.
Right. We're here because we're special. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm
내
here.
모습이 안
But we're all
보이는
in
걸
this together,
보면은
and we're dealing with a bit of a
약간
ticking clock
심상치
right
않아.
now.
이거 다
So
그냥
please,
자기
just
머릿속에
get to the cabin.
소리 아니야? 어딘가 수상쩍은데 숨기는 게
I
뭐지?
told you everything you need to know.
다
Going
말 안
into more detail just
했잖아.
overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more
구라치네.
difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the
공주에 대해
better things will
모를수록
go for
우리의
all of
모두에게
us.
더 좋다고?
I know it sounds like I'm hiding
그런 게
something, but
어딨어.
you're just going to have to trust me here.
공주가 날 죽일 수 있었던 건 내가 놔뒀기 때문이고 공주가 한 일이라고 내 목을 그은 것뿐이야. 그런 사람이 어떻게 세상을 멸망시킨다는 거야?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
약간 좀 설득력이 떨어지는 그런 느낌?
You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know
그래,
that,
증거가
right?
없어.
What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything.
그래.
Fine. Check your
뭐
pockets.
주머니? 있네 주머니. 주머니를 뒤져.
You put your hands in your pockets
근데
and pull out
이분-
an envelope with the words "The Evidence" written across the front.
증거.
Within, you find a note in your
당신이 막지
handwriting.
못하면 공주는 이 세상을
The
끝장낼
princess will end
것입니다.
the world if you don't
이것은
stop her.
불변의
This is an
진실.
immutable truth.
아, 또 자기가 그냥 대충 써서
That doesn't
주머니에
prove
넣어놨네.
anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
이거 갖고 안 돼. 딴 거.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk.
세상 되게 평화로운데?
I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
그게 다야. 공주나 보러
Now,
가자.
if you don't mind, the whole world is
나
waiting with
공주나 왜
bated breath for
죽이니?
you to save it from ruin.
아, 설마 날 밖으로 꺼내려고? 오두막이 간다.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed
이번엔
to.
단검 챙기고 가지 말자.
Did you just say wink
그냥
out loud?
빈손으로 나가.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
들어가.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of
공주
starlight
하나만을
attempt to
위한
illuminate the cold. The only
의문의
furniture of note is an iron table. The blade is your imp.
거울에 다가간다 뭐지? 벽에 걸린 거울에 대해서 말하지 않았잖아.
Definitely did not.
이런 게 원래
Does a
있었나?
mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
거짓말 하는 거 보소.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do.
왜? 내 모습을 보고 싶어. 잘생긴 내 얼굴
Let's not
말이야.
get caught up in vanity, but we should definitely take a closer look. Whatever it is,
맞아,
he
약간
must not want us
이분
to know about it.
손톱 들어온 거라 해서 약간 심상치
Is this some sort
않았어.
of rehearsed bit? Use your eyes. There is no
아, 이분
mirror.
약간 거울 못
Would I
보게
lie
하려나
about
봐.
something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
오두막이 지난번과
Very
다르고
different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. This
전생
means you'll finally
더듬기?
drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died,
알고
and you
있네.
certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
거울을 가보자.
You walk up to the
응,
wall
보러
next to the basement door.
왔어.
It It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
내 얼굴 한 번 봐봐.
This really isn't funny.
거울 닦아. 아, 이 더러워서 안
Reach forward and
보는데.
rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how to
까죽이
do this,
심상치
you will.
않아. 인간 안 같대.
But it was there a second ago.
어?
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
뭐지? 그냥
I'm
자신
afraid I'm
들어.
going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting
아,
us go down
그냥
there without
들어가.
a weapon. Are you sure? She killed us with it last time. What if she turns it against us again? Yes, I'm sure, and I've already got a plan for that. Still with those past life delusions, are we? I hope part of that plan is don't give the world any monstrosity your only weapon, because unless you've decided to arm the princess, I don't think you need to worry about her having a
내가
weapon.
공주가 뭘
Peachy,
약간 뾰족한
you'll
게
be fine. Okay.
있는 것 같진
I'm trusting
않았어.
you.
뭐? 뭐야, 난 결정할 권리도 없어?
Normally, yeah, but not about
안
this.
해.
Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. One. You do
아,
exactly that.
그럼
Sweeping the
들지
knife from
말고
the table
주머니에
before
넣어.
proceeding to the basement.
뒷주머니에 넣어.
Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone
뭐
staircase.
약간 처음에
Few
오두막이랑
sputtering torches
달라.
attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy
여긴
moss on the
괜찮은데?
stone steps.
약간
If the princess
처음
lives here,
봤던
slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
계단이랑 계단보다 더 괜찮아.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
아나 봐.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes
어?
with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking
이번엔
loudly as she
한팔뿐만
moves.
아니고
The chains binding both her
다
wrists to the far
채워놨어.
wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
심심하겠다.
So much for cutting her out of here.
약간 잘 자르는 건 좀
You
안
hear
되고.
yourself right now. Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose,
이건 뭐야, 이 한
there
개?
would be something so obviously useless. That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
공주 앞에 앉아.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
일단 떨구고. 앉으라는 곳에 더 가까이 앉아.
Do you think this is a game?
오오오.
Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
오.
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
전투태세 오.
In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you
okay.
die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see
그래,
where she
지금
might
이런
have got the wrong
상황에서
idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we
경계할
have trusted
수밖에
her if the roles
없지.
were reversed?
그리고 이제 내가 죽이러 왔다는 걸 아는 것 같아.
I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being strangled? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you
우리
have your
대화로
pristine
합시다.
blade. End her before she ends you.
당근 떨어뜨려.
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
뭐지?
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word. She
여기야?
cuts into her own neck. No.
지켜보자.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage.
왜
Last she
저러지?
reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you.
Why?
Why would she do
왜지?
that? Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet.
Why?
Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back?
그래, 다시
Please
붙여.
tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you,
여기야?
dead. Congratulations! You
왜,
saved the
왜 이러는
world.
거야?
Are you sure she's not winking at us? Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
죽였어. 나가자.
We should take her with us, don't you think? What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that? I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right? You don't need proof.
난
You don't
이걸
need a trophy, and
멸망시키는
she
거
doesn't
한번 보고
deserve a
싶었는데 왜
burial. Just
이러지?
leave.
음...
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them. I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things. The danger has passed.
그래, 보상
You can
뭔지 한번 보자.
relax. I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
우리 다시 만날 수
I am.
있겠지?
I'm on team. Let's put this all behind us. So can we leave already?
공주를 가져가.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the
너희
princess's
함께
severed
하자.
head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin. Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved. She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
그래, 보상 받자.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
나가자.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
뭐지?
Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already... over? Is he gone?
어?
But we're we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the
오,
world
해설자
after all.
사라졌어.
Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just
아,
my lack of
그러면
body,
평생
but it's colder than I expected.
저 우두막에 갇혀 있었던 거? 오. 무엇이니까 심상치 않아. 평범한 인간 아니야. 하지만 당신은 대답하지 못한다. 무언가 그녀를 데려가고 대신 그 자리에 무언가를 남겼다.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
아무래도 거울을 들여다봐야 할 것 같고.
Something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
You're right. Part of me
원래
wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me
내
back.
얼굴 몰래 아 해설자가 사라졌어.
Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like?
여기 뭐지? 그는 어디 가는지 모르겠어. 그리고 어디서 찾아야 할지도
If
몰라.
there's even a her to find anymore.
You're right. She's gone. It's just
아,
us.
이렇게
and
거울
that.
하나 덩그러니 있으니까 가서 한번 봐봐.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
응, 갈 거야. 지금까지 거울을 보고 겁낸 적
It's
없었잖아.
different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
당신은 거울에 다가간다. 거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 모두들 사라졌다. 하지만 거울은 그대로 있다. 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인할 때다. 당신이다. 이게 나? 당신은 텅 빈 공간에 혼자 서 있다. 고요하다. 우두막 다시 가. 이게 뭐 하는 거지? 당신 오두막이 있다. 멸망한 거야? 가보자.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
너는 무엇이지?
I am solitary lights
아,
in
약간
an
이거
empty
공주
city.
아닌가 봐.
What are you?
고독한 빛 무슨 뜻이야?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
이게 무슨 소리인가? 넌 내가 뭐라고 생각해?
I think that you are like me.
괴물이야?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
이게 세상의 멸망이야?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
하긴 연약한 그릇?
Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond.
근데 이분 되게 말을 되게
To
어렵게.
make my own. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not.
아, 이
She's
그릇이라는
made
게
for a
공주?
clever heart.
뭐야?
Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
그늘 풀어줘.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
되게 아파 보이는 그런 느낌? 혹시 해설자에 대해 알아?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
이 세상에 아는 것은 오직 나 하나.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
네가 공주를 죽이라고 날 보낸 거야? 네가 날 여기 가둔 거야?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
바깥 세상에 내 알아?
I know only that they are.
그것이 뭐지? 그게 네가 공주야?
She is part of me,
네가
and part
공주?
of me is her.
네가 처음부터 공주였다는 거야? 아니면 공주를 네 일부분으로 만들고 있다는 거야?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
뭐지? 우리는 서로 아는 사이야?
You are
엔티티로
familiar,
공격한다고요?
but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
무슨 말인지 모르겠어. 쉽게 좀 말해봐. 이제 어떻게 해야 되지?
Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception.
당신이 망각하게 만들어줄 수 있어요. 당신이
If only
그녀를
you believe her
믿는다면?
to be able to. Bring me more perspectives
더
so that I
많은
may
걸?
be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
내가 널 죽일 방법을 찾을까봐 두렵지 않아?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
난 어디까지 잊어버리게 되지? 난 망각하 안 할래.
Until we meet again.
안 해. 계속 가지고 있을래. 네 조각들을 얼마나 더 찾아야 하지?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
이거 무슨 소리인가? 내가 허락하지 않겠다면?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now.
계속 여기 있어야 된다고?
Unfinished, dry,
노잼.
hollow.
뭐 맛있는 것도 없고. 난 공주가 세상을 파괴하는 것을 막기 위해 공주를 죽이라는 부탁을 받았어. 난 널 도우면 넌 세상을 파괴할 거야?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
널 도우면 어떤 걸 할 생각이지?
How can I know? I am flickers in something
아니,
squalling
자기도
and unilluminated.
자기 자신을 잘 모르나 봐. 안 잊을래. 돌아갈 생각 없어.
If you need time,
안
then I'll be with
해.
you.
영원히 기다린다.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I
그래,
am
시간
not you,
많아.
but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
무슨 소리인가? 꺼졌어. 저기야? 엔딩이야? 설마 이게 약간
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
무서워. 이거밖에 안 되네. 좋아. 있게 해줘.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
이게 약간 공주가 살아있어.
You won't.
모든 것이 어두워지고 당신은 죽는다. 이게 있는 거야? 죽는 게? 챕터 1 공주와 영웅. 다시 챕터 1 됐어.
You're on a path in the
여기 이거
woods.
봤는데?
You're here to slay.
어? 뭐지? 방금 그 엔딩이야 그러면은? 그게? 아, 잊는다는 게 아예 그냥 처음부터 다시 하는 건가 봐. 달라진 거 있나? 아까 이건 다 봤어. 다 봤고. 돌아서서 떠난다. 떠난다면 해보자. 아, 그러니까 그게 약간 이거 약간 엔딩이 되게 많은 것 같은 느낌? 엔딩 한번 다 봐봐? 돌아서 떠난다.
Seriously?
응,
You're just going
빠이.
to
안
turn
해.
around and leave?
집에 갈래.
Do you even
자자,
know where
집에
you're
가.
going?
조용히 오두막 반대 방향으로 계속 걸어간다.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore
그래,
that annoying little voice. He
집에
doesn't
나가.
know what he's talking about.
어?
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
뭐지?
How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
집에 갈래. 돌아서서 다시 떠난다.
You're really
응,
keen on
빠이.
wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies.
죽든지 말든지.
Forever.
집에 갈래. 조용히 돌아선다.
Your
야, 대꾸하지
silence
마.
is deafening. But fine. You turn around and trek back down
집
the path.
보내줘. 어?
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to
저기요?
say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
집에 갈래. 그래? 그럼 다시 다른 방향으로 가지 뭐. 이곳에서 나갈 방법을 찾을 때까지 숲속을 헤맬 거야.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
모르겠고.
And here we
또 다른 길.
As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of
이게
light.
다 설마 공주가 있는 오두막이에요?
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility
갈래.
because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness.
와,
It's
협박하는
not
거
like any of that
보소.
time spent lost in the woods really
응,
matters
집에 갈
because it isn't long
거임.
before the world ends and everyone dies.
챕터 2 낯선 존재. 아까랑 달라.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
이거도 아까랑 같아. 오두막 하는 거. 오두막으로부터 달아날 수 없다면 그냥 여기 머물겠어. 영원히.
Oh, that's clever.
반항실
Well,
목소리?
boring though.
뭐 생겼어.
It's extremely boring. Can we really do?
그래 여기서 그냥
Can we really
여기를
just
그냥
do
내 집으로 하자.
nothing?
이 그
No,
숲의
you
어떤
can't just do
이곳을
nothing. You
내
have
그
to do something.
침대로 만들어.
Alright, so it's
보니까
decided.
약간 까죽도
Even if
단단해
it's
보이고
boring, we're going to do
괜찮아 보였어.
nothing forever.
이런 거 그냥 쌓아서 침대로 만들어.
Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? It's getting...
빠빠이.
What is that weird feeling?
뭐지?
It's like I'm barely even here anymore.
Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure.
어...
Does that mean we messed up?
또? 세계가 실타래처럼 풀려 없어진다. 물리적인 실체는 이상한 질감의 공허로 대체된다. 고요하다. 당신은 또 다시 정막에 와있다. 기억이 되돌아온다. 멀리서 수많은 존재가 웅성거리는 소리가 들려온다. 무언가가 다가오면서 진동이 느껴진다. 당신은 이 공허에 무엇이 살고 있는지 이미 알고 있다. 손가락들이 공허를 가로질러 더듬거린다. 어느 손끝이 당신의 의식을 발견하여 당신을 감싸기 시작한다. 당신은 이제 혼자 아니다. 어딜 만져? 혼란스러움. 왜 이곳에 있는 거죠? 전 아직 완성되지 않았어요. 저항감. 당신의 영혼을 둘러싼 껍데기를 긁어보다가 포기하는 손가락들. 좌절감. 이 그릇은 당신으로 가득해요. 제가 기어들어가기 위해서는 비어있는 그릇이 필요해요. 조화 같은 모양으로 짜여진 그릇이 필요해요. 아, 이게 아까 공주 뒤에 나타났던 그분이네. 그 의문의 괴물. 단호함. 안 돼요. 돌아갈 수 없어요. 그곳으로는. 후회. 이 세계는 더 이상 복구할 수 없어요. 새로운 것을 짜야 해요. 흔들거리는 손가락. 이곳에는 아직도 실타래가 많이 남아있어요. 그것을 낭비하지 말아요. 제가 우리의 유일한 구원의 열쇠예요. 방금 그게 또 엔딩이야?
You're on a path. You're here.
리얼? 엔딩이 총 몇 개인 거지? 공주 만나러 갈래. 이거 다 본 거겠지? 다 본 거 같고. 엔딩 되게 많아 보여. 하긴 선택지가 많아서. 조용히 오두막이 간다. 아까 그거 사라졌어. 아까 그거 뒤돌아서 가는 게 없어졌어. 오두막 가자.
You make your way up
들어가.
the interior of the cabin is ablaze.
단검 안 들고 그냥 지하실에 들어가. 오, 갈 수 있어.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you.
이것도 아까랑 똑같은 것 같은 느낌? 완전히 진짜 그냥 구해주자. 해보자. 엔딩 18개? 구해주러 왔어.
How many times do I have to tell you how
우,
dangerous
같이
letting
나갈
her out of here would be
거임.
before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
서로를
There's
응시하고
a heavy
있다.
chain around her wrist.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting
와,
for something like this to
대화
happen forever.
느낌이 달라.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
힘을 한번 열어봐.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
한번 해보지.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
자, 그늘
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even
그
imagine trying to break them
풀파워로
apart.
사용할 시간이 왔어. 단단해?
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended...
근데 또 위로 올라가면은 누가 문 잠글 것 같아. 열쇠 없다면 다른 좋은 생각이 있어?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out.
자유로워질 수만
Be free.
있다면.
You attempt to make your way out of
아,
the basement,
리얼.
with the door at the top of the stairs slammed shut.
캐나도 못
You
나가나
hear the click of a
봐.
lock sliding into place. Is someone
그래,
else here?
그럼 여기서 살자. 문을 열어본다.
You try the door.
문 열어.
Your shouts. You're here.
그래, 내려가.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
그래, 여기서 살자. 밥
There's a
주겠지?
slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
같이.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
뭐지?
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구한다.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the
아까랑
ragged,
똑같은데?
self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
안 아픈가 봐.
She didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you.
오,
Let's get
가자.
out of here.
장기문 잡아간다.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are
bye.
too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the
쉬워,
world.
쉬워.
As the princess approaches the bottom
또
stair,
이러네.
your body... Wait, this isn't fair. Watch me.
안 돼. 아, 이건 경고하면 아까랑 똑같으려나? 아, 다를 수도 있어. 경고한다.
Stop that. Your body lunges
Or-
forward, the blade held low, but the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
저항한다.
The blade. Move the blade.
응, 안 해.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know
아,
this
알고 있어.
isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
뭐지?
She plunges it into your chest,
뒤야?
tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. but you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
For her sake.
다시 태어난다는 걸 아는
When you
건가?
start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture, the two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and
이건
again
목이
and
아니라
again, and you feel every inch of
가슴에
burning pain
구멍
that
났어.
slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
오.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it?
아직
A
살아있어.
stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer
소소한
for
거
things to have gone
보소.
differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
소공요? 그러니까 엔딩마다 챕터
In the
2
woods. And at the end of that path,
제목이 달라지나 봐.
you're here to
이 개자식 이제 알겠다. 네 속임수는 더 이상 소용없어.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did
콜린의
he?
목소리?
If we're going to save our
목소리
beloved,
왜
we
이렇게
have to be
많아?
sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts
약간
you've
좀
got in
다른
the works.
엔딩마다 목소리들 새로 나오는 것 같은 느낌.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd
뭐가?
sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
사나? 이건 봤어. 여기서 떠나는 거. 이게 세이브하자. 뭔가 여기서 일단 오두막에 가고 나중에 로드에서 돌아서 떠난다 한번 해봐.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
알았어,
We
알았어.
already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can.
해설자 안 믿어.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
자, 들어가자.
The interior of the cabin
이번에도
is
거울이
clean
있어.
and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your
방금
implement.
들고 하지 마.
You'll need it if you want to
안
do
해.
this right.
그냥 쟤서 들어가. 거울 봐서 뭐해.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess
좀
lives here,
딱딱하긴
slaying her is
한데
probably
근데
doing
이런
her
게
a
깔려
favour.
있었나 원래?
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
왜 여기도 약간 다른 것 같아.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
결혼하자.
I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
뭐래?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
하나
There's
있어.
a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely
마음의
she can
소리.
hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her, it was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion.
오,
I really
전생
hoped I'd be the first,
일을
but
아는 건
what's
뭐지?
done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
결혼하자.
We damned a whole world.
그리고 어차피 세계가 멸망하든 말든 계속 다시 시작할 수 있어.
Nothing resets. You're just
있어,
somewhere
다시
else.
시작.
You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic
그래.
and romantic
결혼하자.
destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
자, 일단 세이브 여기서 하나 해주고 여기서도 갈리고 여기서도 갈려. 그냥 공주를 구해버려.
Rescue her? What are you
뭐
talking about? Did you
이런저런
forget
말할
that
거
she's
없고 그냥
a
결혼해.
world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete
모르겠고.
moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains.
Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease.
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already?
Because we've yet to present her with her freedom.
I'm not sure I follow.
Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder
내가
who tells you
데리고
what
나가야
you
돼.
can and cannot do?
I think I'd rather believe in facts.
Ah, so you're one of those empiricists.
One of us has to be.
Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator,
가자.
we courageously
결혼하자.
step forward and free our beloved from her bindings.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll... You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain tight.
빨리 가서 결혼하자.
And if you try
말 되게
anything that might harm
많네.
our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand
손톱
from
안
her
깎나?
bindings. That shouldn't have worked.
오, 바로 돼. 기다리고 있었나봐.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so
이번엔
much.
절 죽이려 들지 않으시네요. 역시 이분 뭘 알고 있어.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a
안아줘요.
joyful embrace. Ugh.
뽀갈.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr.
해설자
Romance, we don't
아니라
have a
그거
weapon.
아니야? 그 살인을 하고 싶은
Who needs a weapon when we have the
살인자의
power of
목소리
love
아니야?
on our side?
사랑의
What do you
힘.
know?
아 여기서도 저장해. 세이브. 와, 이 한 그 루트에서 할 수 있는 게 이렇게 많아. 우린 떠날 거야. 뭘 하고 싶은지는 물어볼까 한번? 아니야. 평생 동안 천천히 정하면 돼.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in
오, 문
hand.
열려있어.
Look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see.
아,
Oh, that's
역시.
interesting. The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
이 문을 해설자가 닫은 거야?
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride. at this
결혼할
point.
거야. 아, 또 저장. 세이브. 뭐 이렇게. 이럴 수 있겠어? 분명히 또 엔딩에 미친다, 용야. 함께 한다면 늘 수 있을 거야.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
맞아.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door
이거지.
creaks open. Are you kidding?
사랑이.
I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
그러지 않는다. 잠깐만, 여기서 또 세이브를 해. 야, 세이브. 공간 보소. 나가 그냥.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're
결혼이나
taking every
하자.
opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
에헤.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that,
나가자.
aren't you?
You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
We did it! What should we do now?
어어.
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep.
나오기만 하면은 진짜 멸망하나 봐.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
뭐지?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a
깃털도
princess.
있어. 아. 위야? 뭐지? 하지만 당신은 외투를 만들어주지 못한다. 영원히 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go? Is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
뭐지? 저장. 여기서 세이브. 이건 뭐지? 당연히 두렵겠지. 넌 이제 끝이 아니야? 하지만 난 끝이 아니지.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt
그러게,
before, it
그게
feels
무슨
so much
말인가.
worse now. Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken heart.
어? 거울에 다가간다. 당신 거울에 다가간다. 보자, 내 얼굴. 당신이 손을 뻗쳐 침묵이 내린다. 이번에도 모두들 사라졌다. 거울이 매번 모두를 사라지게 만든다. 하지만 당신은 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인해야 한다. 당신은 성장했다. 당신은 또다시 정막에 와있다. 오두막 가자. 당신 오두막에 있다. 저기야?
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete.
무조건
Flickering lights and empty
공주랑 나가면 이렇게
cityscapes
되나봐.
become pockets of
이 뒤에 이
vitality
손들
and
없애는
movement.
방법 없나?
I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
일단 또 저장. 세이브. 똥 세이브도 있어. 엔티티를 공격한다. 맞아. 당신의 의지가 엔티티를 공격하려 하지만 아무 일도 일어나지 않는다.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight.
단단한가
We
봐.
cannot harm each other as we are now.
안 되나? 스스로의 몸을 파괴한다? 당신은 스스로의 삶을 끝내려 의지를 끌어올린다. 그러나 당신은 아무것도 느끼지 못한다. 수많은 손들 중 하나가 당신에게 뻗어와 부드럽게 당신의 옆얼굴을 어루만진다.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
죽지도 못하네. 리얼? 아, 이 돌아가는 거는 다시 시작하는 거고 넌 저번과 같은 존재야? 얼마나 변화했지?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
무슨 소리인가? 이렇게 변하니 기분이 어때?
Eyes close in reflection.
단추가 뭐지?
Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
이 모든 게 끝나면 뭘 하고 싶어?
With every gift you bring me, I
나는
excavate the
뭘
areas
하는지
of what I am meant
모르겠어.
to be. And every exploration yields new and complicated truths.
좀만
What
쉽게
I will
얘기해
be
줄래?
is different than what I am. And what I am is different from what I was.
좀 약간 이지하게 설명해 주실?
I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed.
하긴 뭐 세상을
But in this
멸망시킬 수 있는
All
정도의
I want is to know
존재면은
myself and to know you.
그 인간의 범주랑 뭔가 다른 거지. 보이지 않는 벽이 날 가로막았었어. 왜 이전과 똑같은 선택을 할 수 없지?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
경험하지 않은 길만이. 하긴 그렇긴 해. 교속 같은 거 나왔으면 조금 약간 그랬겠지. 이 그릇에 대해 어떻게 생각해?
This one is soft.
아, 이게
and
지금
delicate.
그거네.
You molded me to
자꾸
love you,
나를
and shall make
처음
for a
다시 시작하게
gentle heart.
만들어서 이 새로운 그릇들을 가져오게 하고 있어.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
다음엔 어떤 그릇을 원하지?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them.
아무거나 가져오라는 뜻인가 봐.
My joy isn't seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers. And every perspective
그러면
illuminates
해피
my
엔딩 없나?
shadows and shares new secrets.
맨날 그러면 이 괴물한테 공주 갖다 바쳐야 돼? 그럼 어떤 방향으로 성장하고 싶은지에 대해 딱히 원하는 게 없는 거야?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
넌 나 만났던 자들 중 나를 가장 친절하게 대해줬어. 고마워.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you?
리얼?
You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
사람들이 다들 약간 싸가지 없었나 봐. 넌 나에 대해 어떻게 생각해? 난 너의 가져왔던 그릇들을 해쳤어. 해쳤다고?
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my
심장의
heart.
무늬.
Without them, I would be as I was before.
표현 보소.
I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would.
어디 다 사라졌어. 이 모든 일이 끝나면 내가 널 죽일 거라는 건 알고 있어?
There is still much to be seen.
뭐래
Neither of us
자꾸
know the depths of our being.
대답을
Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to
약간
kill you. Or
동문서다?
perhaps we will leave this place together and
아니야.
find new horizons to discover.
그릇을 얼마나 더 가져와야 하지?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time,
안식.
and I am sorry for the burdens I place
이
on
약간
you.
이 커서 모양이 달라져. 그래, 돌아가자.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
당신 죽는다. 그럼 아까
You're on a
그거
path
해보자.
in the woods,
어,
and at the end of
로드.
that path is a cabin.
일단 방금 그 루트에서 딴 거 한번 해봐. 사랑이 없는 세상은 가치가 없으니 아까 그냥 돌아와서 떠난다 해볼까
Are we
여기서?
running away? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
조용히 오두막 반대 방향으로 걸어간다.
Fine. I suppose you just
Why?
quietly continue down the path away from the... That's strange. It looks like this path...
안 해. 또다시.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish if you... But fine. You turn around and trek back
집에
down the
가자.
path.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to... What's going on? Where are we? Oh, I don't like this one bit. There's not a single damsel in sight. Hold up.
바로 왔나봐. 기억이 되돌아온다. 멀리서 수많은 존재가 웅성거리는 소리가 들려온다. 무언가 다가오면서 진동이 느껴진다. 아, 또 더듬어. 오유, 뭐야 방금?
You're on a path.
나 제대로
in the
못
woods.
봤네. 로그. 중호. 우리의 무한한 가능성이 보잘것 없어졌어요. 당신을 중호해요. 이거 엔딩이야? 아까랑 달라. 아까 봤던 그 더듬는 거랑 달라. 리얼. 여기서 오두막 간다.
She will... I don't...
들어가. 그리고 칼을 주머니에 넣어.
The
칼을 주머니에 넣어.
You... I suppose... Hopefully there's no...
지하실에 들어간다.
The door to... yes. You know...
It's-
You... That's what...
공주를 죽인다.
Blade in hand, you run the princess down.
Wait, no! You barbarian, what do you think you're doing?
But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and press on. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as you approach, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank you for seeing this through. I know it must have been difficult. I feel sick.
바이.
Sick. You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught. Grief-stricken.
결혼하려는데
Inconsolable.
You'll get over it. You just saved everyone.
그래 어차피 살려두면 뭘 해도 자꾸 멸망해.
Get over it. You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all.
You raise the blade, aiming the point directly
그래
towards
같이
your
가자.
heart. Excuse me? No, you
따라가자.
absolutely do not do that. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and...
Rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she's gone.
이건 뭐지? 세이브. 결정권을 가진 건 나야. 그리고 나는 거절한다.
Exactly, you're not doing this.
그냥 난 살래.
All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Have it you! Have it you all!
I don't believe this. What? What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor.
그래 같이 가자.
You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry.
That's right. You're all sorry.
Everything goes dark,
and you die.
챕터 3? 이게 죽여야 되나
You're on a
봐.
path in the woods. You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to the woods you've earned my forgiveness? Our beloved had best be
죽여야
alive and well
계속
when we return to the cabin, or you'll never know the end of
진행되는
my
것 같은
wrath.
느낌?
She won't be alive and well when we
맹혈의
return to
목소리.
that cabin, because she's dead. You killed her, and so I killed you. And you clearly didn't do a good enough job. Oh, and I'm still here too. If you
어디야?
lot get to be blessed with seemingly eternal life, that must mean she's still there, waiting for us to throw ourselves at her feet in remorse. I doubt it. I think I'm better at killing than you are. You've been here
제목이
before, of course.
공주를
You've been here before.
죽여라.
What count is it this time? 2? It's our third. What gave it away? Your open discussions. I couldn't care less what he knows. Every second we stand around arguing in the woods is a second that I'm anxiously worrying about her. Take us to the cabin and take us there now. With each passing moment, our relationship may be damaged even further. And if it is permanent, then what? You'll kill us again? Oh, you just wait and see. My vengeance will echo the
약간
depths
이분들
of my
말하는 게
bereavement.
되게 옛날 사람들 같아. 한
Don't provoke him. I prefer if we
한
didn't
500년
die
전?
again. I'm not fond
1000년 전 사람 약간 그런 느낌?
Why not? You've already done it twice. It was unpleasant. It was only unpleasant because you think it's supposed to be unpleasant. I'll make you feel what I feel if it's the last thing I do. And mark my words, you won't like it when it happens. Oh, how exciting. I'd love to see you try. Can I? Well, I'm not just going to try. I'm going to actually do it. I'm looking forward to it. Good. I am too. Can I talk now? Yes, I can. Great. Now that you're listening, let me remind you that if you're
아니,
here
안
in the
죽었다고?
woods, it means that the princess is not dead, and that her very
한 번
existence
죽였으면
currently poses a
됐지.
direct
또
threat
가서
to the
죽여?
entire world.
그래. 해보자. 근데 떠나는 거 말고, 무슨 일 기다리고 있건 간에 정답은 오두막에 있는 것 같고, 일단 세이브해. 확인하러 가봐야겠어.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright? Oh, we'll muck it up alright. We'll get our happy ending, even if it damns each and every person who's ever lived.
대형 달라진 건 뭐지?
Whatever you do, don't let him influence a single decision. He's clearly lost it. I hate that I'm agreeing with him on anything, but I really don't like being at the whims of someone so... Yes, having all those feelings isn't very productive, is it? But we're just
진짜
passengers
말하는
here.
거 왜 이렇게 어려워?
Why stress over something you can't control? You're saying that like stress is just something you can
쉽게
turn
말해.
off. It is. It's easy. Whatever happens, happens. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
들어가자.
The interior of the cabin feels
좋아?
dry and brittle. Ancient dust-covered wooden beams hold up a
귀신이야?
crumbling ceiling like mummified ribs, each elegantly carved detail of the stately building preserved in an extended stasis. Everything here has been kept safe and dry and lifeless. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the dusty wood of the far wall. Is that her?
귀신
Our
됐나봐.
beloved. So she does live. She doesn't look very alive to me. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone.
아,
vanishing
그냥
behind the door
벽통과.
on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Maybe it's gone because she already killed herself with it.
Hmm?
Perhaps it's gone because an oh-so-deserved guilt has started to worm its way into each and...
아, 한번 눌러보고 싶었는데 이게 넘어가네. 하지만 일단 세이브 또 하자. 하지만 문은
As if
없는데.
something as flimsy as a missing door would stop us on our sacred
그래,
quest.
문 없으면
Cross the
다
Find our way
두들겨서
back to
구멍을
her.
만들어서 들어가.
Things right. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not.
거울 가자.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off.
거울들 다 들어올. 닦아.
It's time for all of you to see what we've become. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement.
또 안 보여주는 거
The handle is just a little
보소.
to your right and a little down. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. I see. We are too hideous for even a mirror to behold. We can only hope she might still see some good in us. No way left to go but down.
가자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an antique staircase lit by
귀신된 건
weak
뭐지?
torchlight. The air here is so stale it practically stands still, as if the very molecules of this place have been fossilized, trapped for eons until your arrival. Even the blaze of the torches can't penetrate the odorless air, as if they'd run out of fuel to burn ages ago,
되게 잘
their
타고
light
있는데?
still flickering more out of habit than from adhering to a physical reality. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadow. There she is again.
서로를 무시하고
My
있다.
love. She's just an old memory. Your eyes
따라가.
lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
또 세이브. 지난번 이름 미안해. 괜찮아?
You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? Don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. Of course she's livid, and with good reason. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants.
내려가자.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a
해골
heap on the
공주
floor,
뭐지?
her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom.
여기는 창문도 없어.
She's dead. No! What foul trickery is this? How can this be? We just saw her alive and well a moment ago, floating away transparently. Whatever we saw was a ghost. I thought we were all on the same page. Do try to keep up. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you
역시
from the top of
귀신
the stairs,
같네.
clutching a brightly burning torch. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is, yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. We make amends. She obviously still holds us in her heart.
대화로 합시다.
And everything. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
You came back. I missed you.
That angelic voice. I missed you too, my beloved. You sure snapped back to your old self quick. Yes. Seeing her dazzling countenance again has reignited the warmth in my heart. I have found it in me to forgive the sins this body has committed. We can have our perfect romance after all.
This is a bad place. We're supposed to be together, but it keeps making us hurt each other.
The torch falls from the princess's hand.
귀신인데 물건을 들을 수 있어.
It'll be so much better when it's gone.
The skeletal wood of the basement, perfectly dry after uncountable years of desiccation, immediately catches fire. She's trying to kill us.
그래, 함께 하자는 거지.
A misplaced escalation of her passions, but clearly she still cares for us. I say we burn with her.
일단 적자. 와, 세이브. 근데 이분 그래서 이런 거 잡을 수 있으니까 죽일 수 있으려나? 이러다 타 죽겠어.
It's okay. I'm going to burn too, and then we won't hurt anymore.
죽은 게 아니야?
She's right about the last part. Burning doesn't hurt forever.
같이 타는 것도 되게 낭만적인 것 같은 그런
The fire
느낌.
grows quickly, devouring the basement, dancing up the walls and painting every surface with strokes of flame. We've never burned to death before. I wonder how it's going to feel. Bad! I bet it'll feel really, really bad. Yes, it will be terrible, so you'd better come up with something to do and fast. Your personal safety is far from the only thing she's threatening right now.
나가자.
I think a bit of fiery passion is good for the world. You're just trying to spoil
그래 좀
her
약간
fun.
구워지는 건 조금 이제 그렇지
I'm
않나
not
그런
spoiling
느낌.
anything. I'm trying to prevent oblivion.
단 걸 향해 달려간다.
As you rush up the stairs towards the
Uh-oh.
princess, the entire cabin erupts into a raging inferno. You push through the flames, trying to ignore the choking hot air filling your lungs. Manage to reach her, your hand wrapping around the hilt of the blade. But the metal is already blistering hot.
Awful.
Your hand sizzles as it melts on contact. You can't so much as pull away, your nerves seizing up as they're fried. The bones of your
영원히
hand
함께하자.
fusing in place around the weapon. The princess, smiling warmly as her skin bubbles away, places her hand on yours and clutches it to her chest. The pain is unbearable at first. Every inch of you screams as your flesh is stripped away, your muscles stiffening as they're cooked, your blood boiling in your veins. But it isn't long before the flames take your nerves,
그래.
and with them,
같이 가.
your ability to feel much of anything. See? That wasn't so bad. It was so bad. But somehow, nothing is so much worse. You'll get used to it. There are still the feelings of the heart. Those never go.
영원히 함께하자.
Oh, they always do in the end. You just haven't
이게
experienced.
냉혈의 목소리 이거 뭐지?
Eventually you'll want them to stop too. You'll make them stop. The princess's smile never fades. Her skin peels away, and then her muscle, until all you can see is her charring skull, locked in an eternal grin. It's very romantic.
인류. 미소를
Not
잃지
our happy
않는
ending after all. We can die happy.
해피엔딩. 결혼하자. 어? 그러나 당신은 죽지 않는다. 그녀 또한 사라졌다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone.
뭐지?
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
거울에 다가가. 왜 자꾸 왜 봐? 당신 성장했다. 이올 오두막에 가자. 야.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided, but your commitment now is final? Your ability, flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pocket whenever you are ready.
술은 뭘 파괴한다. 아, 안 돼. 어떻게 해도 안 돼.
There's no.
돌아올 준비가 됐어.
I will long for your return. We will meet again.
조용히 오두막에 간다. 말없이 그냥 가서 죽여봐.
You make your way. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely the blade.
당근 가져와.
You take the blade. The door.
Who's
She said, "Don't let."
그냥 계단 내려가.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock up. She's so. Focus on the task at hand.
and there you are. Are you here to kill me or
칼 들고
something?
온 거 바로 알아. 결의를 굳히고 다가간다.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have,
가보자.
you'll have to get close enough to use it.
나 엔딩 볼래.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
가보자. 공주를 죽인다.
You lunge forward
가자.
without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have
근데 이거
to
되게
wonder,
단단해. 바로 안 죽어.
do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago.
컸어.
That arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
물론이지. 그 공주는 죽었어.
Yes, exactly. It's over.
그래. 보내주자. 보상이나
With your
줘.
work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone.
정말
Greater
고단한
good or not, something would be
하루였어.
very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
나가자. 떠난다.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find
is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good.
해피 엔딩.
Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
세상을 구한 것 치고 결말이 영 별론데.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the
그래.
past. No,
보상이나 주머니에
this
넣어.
is the beginning of eternity. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring
다시
blur.
왔나 봐.
You've next. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
당연 아니지. 여기서 나갈 방법이라도 있어?
I do, but you're
난
probably not
보상
going to
받고 나가고
like it.
싶은데. 근데 밖에 약간 배경이 심상치 않아.
Blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid he's right. It's the only way
아,
out.
나 엔딩 좀
Do you
보자.
hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to... Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
그냥 여기서 아무것도 안 하고 있을래.
What a relief. I suppose we've got all the time in the world for you to change your mind.
당했어.
More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voice's pleas fall on
여기서
deaf
자자.
ears.
먹을 것도
Eventually you
있겠지 않아?
pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy.
행복하게 영원히. Yeah. 해피엔딩 해냈어요. 당신이
You have
모수를
already committed to my
구했어요.
completion. You cannot go further astray.
Yeah. 뭐지? 그래, 행복하진 않군. 네가 내게 마지막으로 말을 건 사람이라 그런 건 아니야. 행복하다고?
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here. Though you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use
또
I can
이러네.
hear everything you say.
안
Right.
해.
Do you hear? Do you not? Don't you?
단검을 사용하면 우리가 죽는 거 아니야?
How astute. You are
아까
absolutely correct.
행복하다고 할 걸
In a sense, I
그랬나?
know this that little
확실한 거겠지? 우리가 진짜 죽으면 별로 기분이 좋지 않을 것
If we
같은데.
die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the
가보자.
door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body
해올
is dust and bones,
됐어.
though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
요령?
You're on a path. You're here to...
뭐지? 가서 또 죽여. 가서 바로 아무 말도 하지 말고.
The interior of the cabin is cold.
어?
A soft
새로운지.
odor of dirt permeating the air.
아, 그
Webs
오두막이
fluttering
다
in the
달라.
corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture
어슬러슬한
of
거
note
보소.
is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
1챕터에서 죽이면은 그 냉혈의 목소리가 생긴 느낌? 단 걸 가져가.
You take the blade from...
가자. 그냥 가서
The door to
해버려.
the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead.
줄 필요 없어.
It's just like
이미
I
갔어.
told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin.
하요.
And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin.
지원.
So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again,
구멍난
if
거
we wanted
보소.
to.
죽여.
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air.
뭐지?
No matter how many times you stab at her, no
역시
matter how many
귀신
angles you
됐네.
strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
You're adorable when you're confused.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
Why are you
오.
even here? Just making sure you finish the
아,
job?
성불시켜주려고.
Or what?
공주 죽여 다시.
You swing at the princess once
아무런
more, and
일도
once more your
일어나지
blade cuts
않았다.
through nothing as she disappears.
Really?
Her voice chides from elsewhere in the room. You whirl around, finding her hovering between you and the basement stairs. Looking, she draws in
오,
close.
슈.
I was willing to let bygones be bygones, Keller. I was willing to ignore everything you did to me so we could get out of here together. All I ever wanted was to leave this place.
오.
All I ever wanted was to find a way back home. Wherever home is.
Her eyes turn from wells of sorrow to pits of wrath as she stares into you.
I guess violence is the only language you speak.
우리 대화를 합시다.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then...
어딜 만져?
Yes? Nothing happens. Are you sure about that? Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine.
종이 그녀를 바라본다.
You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next. but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. The horrific splintering,
뭐지?
the squelching of organs,
어,
the rending of tissue,
아, 저
and
몰라서
this
그럴걸.
numbing pain.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor.
죽인다.
You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal
아,
throat.
약간 이제
It
이제 뭔가 할 수 있나
The
봐.
gash widens across her neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound.
라운드 원.
But it's too little, too late.
어.
In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. Did we get her? Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
내 심장.
See you soon, killer.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
챕터 4 망령.
You're on a path in the
여기
woods.
또 뭐지?
Here we go again.
아, 심상치 않아.
To slay her.
거미줄 보소.
The deck's stacked, isn't
배신감의
We
목소리.
kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost. We start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it. Come on. Let's not
또
give
하고,
in to all
또
that
하고.
misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right answer. Yeah. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be, seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them. Wouldn't that get... I don't know.
빨리 공주나 보러
boring?
가자.
Okay, so you've already been here. Twice, even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess. Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves.
응?
And why, pray tell, did you do that?
아까
Because you decided to foist
귀신이 우리
infinite
심장
evil.
뽑아서 죽은 거 아니야?
That doesn't sound like me.
갑자기
If I'd had everything my way,
자살.
you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. It was boring. It was bullshit. So you killed yourself.
나 모르는 얘기 하네.
And then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the
참
first time,
죽이고
it
나서
sounds like
얘기?
it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish. All this standing around and talking is boring.
그래,
Let's at
가자.
least do something. Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe.
오두막에 간다.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her
배신감의
free.
목소리가 뭐지?
Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack.
자, 들어가.
The interior of the cabin is long and dark, A single narrow
이제
hallway
문도
stretching far into the
없어.
distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... that's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Great. Something else has been taken away from us. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it?
일단 가보자.
You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward, towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. We've always been watched.
빨리 가서
We're watching us right
들어가.
now. Sometimes the feeling is, I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation, we just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
닦아.
What the odds she's waiting for us right now, just out of sight, on the other side of that glass? You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in
이번
muted
심장을
shock for
지켜.
one long, frozen moment. And then your bones
뭐지?
snap. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things
우리
right.
대화를 합시다.
I thought maybe you'd seen what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse. Well, maybe a lot
좀비야?
worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here.
오, 슈, 슈.
And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different. Do we even have a choice?
와, 진짜 세네.
You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time.
약간 이 발톱, 손톱, 진짜
Exactly.
날
What
칼로
choice is there if there isn't
아무
a
의미
blade?
없어.
Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
몸부림쳐.
You violently struggle
Aya.
against the princess, but all you manage to do is grind the fragments of your splintered ankle together. You can't shake free.
It's so easy to make you squirm. But I won't be crueler than I have to be. I don't even want to cause any more damage. It'll be hard enough for me to walk out of here on that broken ankle.
You remain pinned
오,
to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways
골반이야,
that
이거?
defy your understanding.
유연한 거 보소.
Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here?
이 상황에서 지금 싸우는
Yours, I
거야?
assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your
오,
vision fades
기갈.
as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway. Your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull.
어,
Her
빙이,
voice is
어.
all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
영희 함께하자.
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. Flip the table. That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss.
뭐지?
Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your
아,
splintered
고통은
ankle,
다
takes
느껴져.
an excruciating step towards
이제
the cabin
그냥
door. The
저
movement is stiff.
봉수한테
Your
주는
body
건 줄
reduced to a
알았는데
marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your
아니고?
strings.
오두마을 떠나봐.
You toss the last of your will aside
그래,
and
같이
surrender
가자.
to the princess. Shit. I guess that's that. An end is an end. Let's see what it has in store for us. Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle grinding ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world. But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything, it's...
나가자.
Please, just let her out. It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer. It really is, isn't it?
아, 저렇게 말을 해야
Isn't saying all
조종할
of this
수
his
있나
job?
봐.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? I had a feeling you could deal with him for us. This is it then. The big moment. I just hope it's a way out. 하지만 당신이 오두막 바깥으로 발을 뻗자 또 다른 극심한 통증이 느껴진다. 영혼까지 찢어지는 듯한 고통이다. 당신은 다시 한번 당신의 몸 구석구석에 자리 잡고 있던 그곳으로부터 떨어집니다. Where
us again.
How interesting. We actually won, didn't we?
근데 또 멸망했네. 아니야? 이제 손이 나오겠지? 역시. 빠이.
She's gone. And there's that.
이건 아마 엔딩이 아니겠지? 자신을 바라본다. 또 당신 수척해졌다 뭐야? 성장하는 거랑 수척해지는 거랑 뭔가 있나봐.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can. All of me is.
응? 또 새로운 거 생겼어. 공격해.
My root.
돌아갈 준비 됐어.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
챕터 1 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path. You're
내가 안
here
해본 게 뭐가 있지? 이제 안 간다고 없어. 오두막에 안 간다고 없는데? 아 그렇군. 설명해줘서 고마워.
It's all part of the job.
약간 달라진 느낌?
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess.
들어가자. 혹시 뭔가 계속 달라져.
The interior of the cabin is almost the blade is your.
단검을 가져와.
You take the blade from the table. It'll be.
들어가자.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it.
안녕. 널 죽이러 왔는데?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise.
아,
Good
잘하는지.
luck, hero.
나 뭔가 잘했어. 안 해본 거 다
You walk
눌러봐.
down the stairs and lock eyes. She's so. Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Yeah. 그래, 농담이 아니었어.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always
약간
toss
다른
that scrap of
세상에서
metal
우리
to
이제
the
대화할
ground.
만큼 해보지
Give the two of us a
않았나.
chance to talk
약간
things
그런
out.
느낌?
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
단검을 단단히 준다.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
준비됐어.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
뭐지?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
가자.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get so you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
그래, 가.
End this.
빨리 가서 쑤셔. 단검을 떨어뜨릴 생각은 없어.
Then I'm not talking to you.
뭐지? 노려본다? 좋아, 그럼 교착
I
상태네.
guess we are.
교착 상태?
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
단검을 쥔 채로 공주를
You
바라본다.
stare at the princess, squinting fiercely.
그래, 한 봐줘.
She squints.
서로를 응시하고 있다.
The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you? You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
나 되게 성격이 급해. 죽여.
Doubt,
오.
unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your
아,
jaw.
역시.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You
졌어?
can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt!
칼 들고 있었는데 주먹에.
Though she's unarmed,
그래,
the
그럴 수
shock of that
있지.
first strike is enough to stagger
역시.
you, putting you and the princess
강해.
on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes
어어.
through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
이분 약간 숨겨진 근이 대단한 것 같은
We
느낌?
can still turn this around.
세이브하고 마무리한다.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here.
그래, 여기서 영원히 함께하자.
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
대단한 싸움.
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and
이분은
sinking your
심장
blade
갔어.
deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder. Do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes
계속
down,
함께하겠지?
and you die.
나도 갔어. 호적수. 챕터 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to sleep.
하지만 난 공주를 이미 죽였는데, 물론 나도 공주에게 죽었지만 분명 죽였다고. 왜 내가 또 여기 있는
I
거지?
can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life. If he doesn't
그래,
remember what
이분은
happened,
모르겠지.
you know I can hear you. That's fine.
그래,
That's
알았어.
the
일단 여기서도 세이브 한번 해. 3, 4. 오두아 가보자. 나 그릇 가져가야
Before you go
돼.
any further. She will lie.
알았어,
Lying
알았어.
and cheating. Are you sure? The point of the princess will crystal.
근데 공주 딱히 거짓말은 안 하는 것 같은데?
The cabin is
오, 여긴
tighter than
뭐지?
its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you,
의문의
as if trying to
도로 오두막.
forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
단검
You'll need
이번에도
it if you want to
들고
do this
가자.
right.
단검 가져가.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a
그래.
weapon.
단검 있어도 그 공주 주먹에 가버렸는데 없으면 이제 큰일 나겠지.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase. Its
유황
walls
냄새?
pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you.
공주.
Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
뿔
A
뭐지?
large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement
이거
wall.
약간 그냥 한번 싹 해버리면 탁 터지면서 이거 다 족쇄
Looks like she could rip those chains
떨어질
out
것
of the wall
같은데.
without a second thought.
맞아.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for
아니 근데 누가
either
이제
of us.
찾아올 걸 이제 기다리면서 그냥 가만히 있는 거지.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
공주 죽인다.
Good. With a singular focus, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
맞아.
Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact grabs your
일단
momentum,
선빵.
your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
단걸 뽑고 다른 각도로 공격한다.
You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee.
우리 대화로 합시다.
It collides with your ribs, and you feel them
Garby.
splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you find yourself in midair, effortlessly
갔어.
tossed across the room. You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully, but you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an
아직
opening.
움직일 수 있어.
You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last. This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head,
뒤야?
fingers gripping your skull.
내 머리.
How disappointing.
소리 무서워.
She squeezes, the
오.
pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp.
내 두피.
The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
빠빠이. 챕터 3 바늘 구멍.
You're on a path
여기는
in the
뭐지?
wo- If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have
돌이야.
died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she
하긴 이제
manages to slip
그냥
away,
1대1로
that's it.
해가지고는
Game over for everyone, yourself included.
그러니까 각이 안 보이는
Are you
그런
not
느낌?
challenging us on all the looping?
손짓 한 번 이제 갈비랑 두개골이 부서진다?
to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going
사냥가는
on
목소리?
is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here. And if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long.
아, 사냥감 됐어.
See this?
쫄보됐어. 아니, 그럴만하지. 갈비가 2번이나 갔어.
We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that. There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here.
싸움꾼과 사냥감이
I haven't signed
함께하는.
off on anything yet.
네, 그럴 수 있지.
Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need
아,
space,
굉장히 이제
and I trust
아주
instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
아주 조심스러워. 이곳이 얼마나 달라졌는지 아직 얘기하지 않았잖아. 여긴 숲이라고 하기도 어려워. 공주의 영향이 세상으로 퍼져나간 것
It's
같아.
evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why? Because they're not
공주가
supposed to have
바꿔버리는
changed. This is
세상.
supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
무슨 일이 생기건간에 정답은 오두막에 있는 모양이군. 가보자.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament.
이 가시 같은 돌들 뭐지?
No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to
불 더 커지고 꼬리 더 길어진 거 아니야? 가자.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched
이게
on its
무슨
edge.
소용이 있을지 잘 모르겠지만 일단
The
주머니에 넣어.
blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this
뭐라도
right.
해봐야지.
See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it.
일단 단검 주머니에 넣어.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
가자. 일단 거울 한번 싹
Step
봐줘.
forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it.
그래, 만나기
As
전에
if you don't see
좀
it.
단정하게 하고 가야지.
You always see is a damned mirror. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean?
거울 닦아. 쳐 부순다고.
Reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet,
맞지?
like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the
뭐
princess
드래곤이
lives here,
사나?
slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her, rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
싸고 싶어? 그럼 이쪽으로 와서 덤비는 게 어때?
That's not how this
아,
works.
맞네.
I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
We'll need to show ourselves. Make her boil over and forget her
근데 약간
metal
힘을
bindings.
팍 이제 주면 족쇄 탁 터질 것
Fine
같은데?
by me.
그냥 가자.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon remember every crack and crevice. You'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled,
먹지 보소.
grins back at you from the darkness. Her face
무슨 마왕
widens into
됐나봐.
a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not.
아, 좀 좁긴
Make
해.
her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
잠깐만, 세이브. 일단 세이브 해주고. 이제 가서 대화를 할까? 죽인다 할까? 아, 또 대화하는 거랑 죽이는 거랑 또 다른 그게 되겠지? 여기서 그냥 틀어버려? 한번 틀어봐? 죽인다.
Change your plans, boys. Impatient. This is her home, not ours. We're
가자.
going to let her kill us. You charge headlong into the princess, blade flashing in the dim light of the basement.
Yes, 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 yes! Finally, you get it!
For a moment, the scales feel balanced, each of you inflicting debilitating wounds on the other, striking in a dizzying synchronicity. But it isn't long before they tip in her favor. The cuts and bruises you've inflicted seem little more than superficial, barely so much as slowing her down as she continues her onslaught. You, in contrast, are finding it harder to stand as your body gradually becomes less responsive, less powerful, less stable. You can tell she's trying to make it last, but all it would take is one meaningful strike, the coup de grace.
This was good, but you could have been so much better. I'm beyond you now.
Here it comes. I'll see you all on the other side.
빠빠이. 어? 아, 그렇댔어. 하지만 다음 생은 오지 않는다. 영원히 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
Where did she go? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
가보자, 거울. 당신은 거울에 다가간다. 당신 해체되었다? 당신 또다시 정막에 와있다. 야.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I'm curious to see what it means for us to know it.
바깥 세상엔 사람들이 있을까?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
저 바깥에 실존하는 게 있을까? 넌 우리가 실제로 존재한다고 생각해?
We are real.
아주
Nothing
심오한
is an idea
대화.
that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
네가 날 돌려보낼 때마다 난 혼자가 아니야. 내게 말을 거는 목소리들이 있어. 일부는 나지만 그중 한 명은 뭔가 다른 존재야. 난 그를 해설자라고 불러. 그는 내가 널 죽이기를 원해. 네게도 해설자가 있어? 그릇들에게도 해설자가 있는 거야?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces
누구지?
beyond?
뭐지? 바깥에서 사는 존재? 맞아. 하지만 일단은 너만 알아도.
It's nice to be with someone whose thoughts I can never know as mine.
그래서 얼마나 더 가져와야지?
One. Whatever you bring
아,
next will be
하나
enough,
남았어.
and then gravity will pull the others
하나
back
더
to
갖고 오면
me.
무슨 일이 벌어지나
I will
봐.
be singular, a final multitude.
이번이 마지막이라면 혹시 내가 가져다 줬으면 하는 그릇이 있어?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart.
마침내
The
실이
only thing
당겨졌을
I
때
want to
당신이
see
저에 대해
is what
내리는
you choose for
결정.
me when the thread is fully drawn.
돌아갈 준비 됐어.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
공주와 영. 이번에는
You're
뭘로
here.
해볼까? 조용히 오두막에 간다.
You make your way up the
들어가자.
the interior of the blade.
그냥 들어가자.
The door to the basement. Her voice
Hello?
is don't
아,
let
단검 들고 들어갈 걸 했나? 아, 단검 안 들고 안녕 사람들이 널 죽이라던데?
You must have the wrong address.
칼 안 들고 있으면 되게 이렇게 얘기해.
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and
눈망울
lock eyes with the
초롱초롱해.
princess. There's a head. She's beautiful. I am begging.
Hi. You were joking about coming to kill me.
한번 해보지. 족쇄 풀어줘.
Only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right. You walk up to the chains binding the print. They're large and heavy. Far too.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away.
위로 올라가 보지.
Okay. I'll be here.
하지만 안 열리겠지?
Someone else.
문을 열어.
Door.
아, 안 되고. 문 열어.
You're here.
에이, 내려가자.
You make your way to the bottom of easier for everyone. Look at
I heard the door slam.
there's a slight panic rise.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know.
She barely hesitates before as she rips her flesh. It's the blade from upstairs. Or we could. You won't like.
공을 죽인다.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground.
등에 꽂았어.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard.
Whoa.
Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you.
아니야.
I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal
이빨
ferocity she used to
보소.
tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
야, 손톱도 갈아놨어.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
아, 죽인다밖에
Though
없다.
your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees.
We can still turn this around.
마무리한다.
You steel your
그래,
resolve and take
그냥
another
빨리
step
그
closer
고통
to
없이
the princess.
보내주자.
You probably won't make it out of here alive. But
아,
you can
나도
still
못
make sure
살아서
that she
말이야.
won't make it out of here either.
함께하자.
Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job.
이분은 손톱 안 쓰나? 대단해 보이는데.
You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Neither you nor you collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
같이
After all
가자.
this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all.
세상을
It's
구했어.
over.
If you think this is it,
이러면
you're
이제 이
sorely
세상은
mistaken.
멀쩡히
One
살아서
way or another,
그 돌아가는
I'll make
거겠지.
sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
바이. 챕터 2 마녀.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay her.
오두막 가자. 여기서 돌아서 떠나면 어떻게 되지? 세이브. 아니 가자 오두막.
A warning. She will lie. Don't. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by
인테리어
accident, just
심상치 않아.
happens to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
일단 단검을 가져가.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have
기회주의자?
it. That's not actually a bad idea.
들어가자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is
약간
thick with roots that hang
나무
like
냄새,
locks
흙
of
냄새
tangled
나는
hair.
그런지.
The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the
구리는데?
princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
대화할까? 막 죽이고 이러지 말고. 안녕.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of
그래,
this whole
대화를 한번
situation.
해봐.
You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what
목소리가
everyone
몇
has to
개나
say
있는
before
거지?
making any big decisions?
뭐 할 때마다 새로운
Do
분들이
you want to hear
나와.
what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
꼴이 뭐지?
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's
우리
acting
대화를
like the two
합시다.
of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand.
그래,
I
우리
don't care if you've
공주랑
been here before, and I
얘기해봐.
don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first.
그래, 대화해보자.
Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
난 얘기하고 싶나 봐. 와, 선택지 보소. 놀라서 그랬어. 네가 네 팔을 뜯어먹으니까 겁이 나서 널 찔렀어. 아, 이건 약간 좀 그렇네. 지난번에 우리 둘 다 죽었잖아. 지나간 일은 지나간 일로 하지 않을래?
You were the one who stabbed me in the back when I was still in chains.
오,
A dirty little thing like you doesn't get to decide when all is fair.
알아. 지난번은 좀 엉망이었지. 하지만 더 커다란 음모가 있어. 우린 힘을 합쳐야 돼.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And
그래.
unfortunately, you're the only one I
그래,
have.
동료가 되라.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
그 손톱 이빨 드러내지 않기. 단검 줄까? 죽인다. 죽이지 말고 난 널 해치고 싶지 않지만 깨진 신뢰를 회복해야겠지. 내 선이라고 생각해줘. 공주에게 단검을 넘긴다.
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote
그래.
no. As do
이 정도는 이제 해줘야 되지 않나.
abstain?
동료로 이제 하고 싶으면은
You abstain. She's going to kill us if we
Lior?
give it to her.
넘겨.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know
그
that, right?
어차피 살리든
But of course.
죽이든 나도 죽어.
You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with
이제 이건
suspicion
네
before
겁니다.
kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
그건 너에게 달렸어. 그게 너에게 단검을 넘긴 이유야. 난 지난번에 결정을 내렸고 그 결정을 후회했어. 이번엔 네가 결정을 낼 차례야.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt,
Oh,
but it's not going to work
yeah.
on me.
어이!
Then she buries the blade in your heart. What?
의야?
No, come on, that's not right.
그냥 찔러버리네.
Told you. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her
뭐지?
nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
엄마?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
빠빠이. 챕터 3 가시.
You're on a path in the woods.
She stabbed us. She actually stabbed us.
다 입들 다 어디
Of
갔어?
course she stabbed us.
내
We gave
말한
her
거
the blade,
보소.
which, I might add, I voted against.
But the whole point was that she wasn't supposed to do that. The whole point of giving her the blade was to break the cycle of violence, and she just killed us anyway.
I guess it really doesn't matter if she killed us though, right? We're back here, which means that everything's fine, or fine adjacent. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. Maybe that's all it'll take to show her that there's another way to do things. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right?
Like that changes anything. We all know the game is rigged. It doesn't even matter if she's nice this time. I'm sure he'll find a way to turn us against each other.
Great. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died
공주랑
at least
얘기하러
once.
가.
Twice, actually.
죽이지 말자.
Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't...
오두막에 가자. 그래.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin.
가시
I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is a threat to me.
알았어,
She's a threat to me,
알았어.
and most importantly, she's a threat to the world.
들어가.
The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore.
심상치
Burned out
않아.
ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that
왜
once stood
이러지?
here, charred wood still reeking of ash.
맞아, 그러니까 마녀가
But
사는
beneath it lies
의문의
the fresh
흉가
smell
느낌?
of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right.
상관없어.
This is supposed to be
그래,
a
어차피
pristine
없어도
blade.
돼.
Why isn't there a pristine
얘기하러
blade?
왔어.
We gave it to her last time. Well, it's not here. And if she has it... Let me guess. You want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. Of course we don't get to make a choice about the blade. Every single time we come back here,
근데 꽃은
something has to be
되게
different.
뭔가 잘 해놓은 것 같은 느낌? 가자, 거울에.
You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the
여기랑
basement,
되게 잘 어울려.
hesitating before you begin the descent. Might as well. You
거울
reach forward
닦아.
and wave your hand through the figures. Well, seems like the only way. Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
지하실에 들어간다.
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash.
온통 가시.
The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved.
일단 가서 우리
I'd say this
얘기나
feels like a
해.
trap, but you practically said as much. Yet you still want us to keep going. They're only thorns. I'd say getting a few scratches in exchange for the lives of everyone in existence is a fair trade. I'm sure you'll manage. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? We kill each other and you come back. You let me kill you and you come back.
운명.
I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
난 널 풀어주고 싶어. 정말이야.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't
뭐래
leave.
또 이제
So come down
족쇄
and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
족쇄 슥 하면 떨어지는 거 그냥 끼워놓고 있는
You
거면서
continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
병원 가자. 비웃으러 온 게 아니야. 허락만 해준다면 널 풀어주고 싶어.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
자, 그거 주고 병원 가자.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
나도 자유를 원해. 나도 너처럼 갇혀있는 존재야. 우린 함께 떠나야 해.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her
같이 가자.
chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Yeah. 널 설득시킬 순 없는 거야?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. Careful with that one. He's not the smooth negotiator he thinks he
아니
is.
눈 한번 딱
It
감아.
does feel like we're stuck until we do something. If there's even anything to do besides make things worse. We're not making things worse. I think she wants to trust us.
믿어. 단검. 이제 단검을 가져가도 될까?
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the
오,
floor.
허락해줬어.
She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
단검을 향해 손을 뻗는다.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon.
신뢰의
You
시간.
carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
가시의 힘.
I'll be damned. She really gave it to us. It feels like it's been so long since we've held real power in our hands. We free her, obviously. It's the right thing to do. I think you're right. She's as much a victim in all of this as we've been. Besides, it would really stick it to him to free her. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may
밖에
never
나가자.
get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You
아,
should
슈,
listen
슈.
to him. We've all said our piece. Now it's time to make our move. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2.
뭐래?
You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
이거 뭐야? 풀어준다.
Yes. What a good idea. Let's cut her.
나가자.
Oh, so you're suddenly team free her. You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Even if he'll stick a knife in our back as soon as he has the opportunity, it's still better to have him nominally on our side. At least that gets him to shut up for a while. See? We're all friends here, united in our actions and intentions. Yeah, united. But the other one has a point.
이거
If it keeps you
벗어.
quiet, sure. We're all friends.
가시온 뭐지?
You take the blade to the thorny
다
vines
잘라.
imprisoning the princess,
이거지.
and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not. Is that really all you've got? Threatening us with an accidental misstep? I expected more from you. Our blade didn't even waver when he said that. Yeah, you're right, he's a bit of a nobody, isn't he? Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
안아줘요.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
물론이지.
She smiles, her
갑시다.
hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your
뭐지?
only way out. You're getting desperate, aren't you? Even more proof that you can't actually do anything to stop us. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
가시덩굴 잘라.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? It feels so good to hear you say that you're admitting you've lost and we've bested you at your own game at last. I don't care what happens now. That's all of you and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
자유를 향해 나아간다.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now?
프리덤. 뽀갈?
Where's everything going?
아, 그래. 세상은 멸망하지.
Why is it so cold?
그렇댔어. 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
자, 얼굴 한번 사기를 봐주고. 당신 아무것도 아니다? 뭐지? 하지만 아무것도 아닐 리가 없다. 당신은 다시 집중해서 본다. 그러자 보이기 시작한다. 거울에 비치는 거 바로 너머에 있는 희미하고 그림자에 가려진 무언가가. 넌 나야?
I think you know what I am.
어? 뭐지? 거울의 한가운데 금이 가기 시작한다. 유리에 비친 모습이 둘로 갈라진다. 균열은 점점 더 뻗어나가다가 결국 깨진 유리 파편이 되어 흩어진다. 뭐지? 이게 해설자야? 이 눈알이? 엄청난 선택지. 거울을 파괴한다. 네가 넌 무엇이지? 나와 비슷한 존재야?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
저와 같은 존재. 넌 이전에도 비슷한 말을 했었어. 해설자들은 전부 각자 다른 존재였던
Of
거야?
course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon,
공주 유니버스.
and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
뭐지? 설마 물어볼 수 있는 게 그게 있는 건가? 한계가 있나? 네 조각이 부서질 때마다 아프지
It
않아?
doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically.
미안해. 너를 파괴하고 싶진 않아. 내가 질문을 멈추면 돼. 내가 뭔가 질문할 때마다 네 조각이 부서져.
I'm aware. And if I were you, I'd be more
아,
precious about
저기요?
your time.
자꾸 부서지네. 너는 내 일부야? 아니면 뭔가 다른 존재야?
I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. that isn't being part of you, then what is?
넌 내 아주 공주를 죽이기를 원했지. 이유가 뭐야?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
그녀가 죽음을 품고 있다고 했지. 그녀는 뭐야?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb
변화의
and flow,
가능성?
the capacity to change. She is transformation, or
타자의 관점에 따라
her nature is
변화하는
why I
그녀의
had to
본질.
die. She becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
그녀가 없는 세상은 어떤 모습이지?
Burdenless. An eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear. No more howling chaos.
영원한 삶.
Just life.
안 죽어?
Forever. There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself.
몇 개 안 남은 것 같아. 어째서 처음부터 전부 알려주지 않았지? 내가 널 도와줄 수도 있잖아.
If you actually knew what she was from the start, if you knew her capabilities, a single intrusive thought could have instantly ended the entire world.
오, 리얼. 네가 날 만들었다고? 그럼 난 무지?
You're the long quiet,
정말?
the god I made to rid the world of death.
죽음의 세계를 막기 위해 창조한 신? 안돼, 하나 남았어. 아, 하나 남았어 이제. 잠깐만, 일단 세이브 좀 하자. 난 그녀를 죽이지 않을 거야. 네가 완전히 죽기 전에 알려주고 싶었어.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
빠빠이. 마지막 유리 파편이 깨지자 당신은 새로운 깨달음을 얻는다. 해설자의 말대로 당신은 정막이다. 새로 타동하기 시작한 무한한 신, 그리고 이제 깨어날 시간이다. 이 모든 것이 당신이다. 어둠으로 간다. 마지막으로 한 번 더. 당신은 모든 것의 심장부에 도착하지만 그곳에는 마지막 그릇이 없다. 아무것도 보이지 않는다. 뭐지?
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
뭐지? 나도 네가 그리웠어. 나중에 혹시 모르니까 세이브하자. 4, 5. 그녀가 무한한 미소로 답한다. 그리고 당신의 다음 말을 인자하게 기다린다. 메아리에 대해 알아? 우리의 대화를 들었어?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
나는 정막이래. 하지만 그게 무슨 의미인지 모르겠어.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call
맞아.
me the
공주는
shifting mound,
변하는
a pale
뭐라고
imitation
했었어.
of what I
변이하는
actually am.
집합체. 이제 무슨 일이 일어나지?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or
아, 이
will
또
you
약간
open
선택하는
the
게 있나
final
봐.
doors to our liberation?
일단 또 세이브. 죽인다. 떠날 시간이야. 일단 물어봐봐. 아직 해결하지 못한 이야기가 너무 많아. 정말 그냥 떠나도 되는 거야?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of
이걸
the
죽일 수
ocean.
있다고?
There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
이 모든 것에 대해 할 말 없어? 왜 나만 이 모든 책임을 지는 거야?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts.
감정 공유?
If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
대화로 해결해보자. 아직 묻고 싶은 게 더 많아. 결정하기 전에 난 답을 알아야겠어.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach. And you cannot, but violence and passion are dances that both of us know well.
오워워.
If this is what it takes to
여기야?
enlighten you, then so be it.
왜 이러지? 우리 대화로 합시다.
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured. And you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
나는 폭력은 상대하지 않아.
But violence has defined the thread of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again. Bones broken and body leaking. Even when you had no hope, you never gave up.
이제까지 만났던 공주들 다 보여주나 봐.
Without obstacles to overcome, we decay into nothing.
항목을 한다? 잠깐 이런 세이브 하자. 세이브 하고 항목 침묵을 유지한다.
But you say nothing.
폭력이 가득했나봐. 침묵을 유지한다.
And so your quietude continues.
와,
I kill you. You
내
kill me.
공주들 다 이런 분들밖에
Back and
없어.
forth we go. Faster and faster and faster. I kill you. You kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be. Preserved until the moment of reunion. The fire of the heart sets it all ablaze. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger.
침묵을 유지한다.
Is your unbroken silence a lack of an answer? Or has
그래,
your
그냥 뭐
understanding
말하게
begun to move
냅두자.
beyond words? To question everything is to deny proof of the reality that lies in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you did not live alone. You found me, and we held trust in each other for no reason than to believe in something that wasn't us. Cold skepticism turned to liberation, but it required a journey to blossom. Though you have blossomed, do you have no more journeys left to make? What of those in the spaces
무슨
beyond?
소리지?
Would you erase the
조금만
path ahead
이제
to hold everyone still?
쉽게 말해주실? 또 침묵을 유지한다.
Still, you hide the contours of your heart from me.
당신과 그녀의 갈등이 가라앉자 당신은 떨기 시작한다. 당신의 의지가 빠르게 사라지고 있다.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
죽인다. 죽인다. 이건 정답이 아니야. 일단 세이브. 우리가 여길 떠나면 어떻게 될 거라 생각해?
This universe dies and a new one is born. And that one dies and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
좋아, 난 떠날 준비가 됐어. 하지만 어떻게 하지?
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
자신을 해방시킨다. 나가자. 당신은 당신의 내면으로 떨어진다. 고대 생명체의 몸이 동면에서 깨어나고 당신은 한때 느끼지 못했던 팔다리의 감각을 느낀다. 그녀를 제외한 이곳의 모든 것이 당신이다. 당신은 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다. 그러나 유한한 땅에 묶여 뒤틀리고 구겨져 있다. 당신은 구성체가 자신에게 좁혀오는 것을 느낀다. 당신의 무한한 몸을 유한하게 만들려 하고 있다. 당신은 저항한다. 그러나 밀어낼 수 없다.
I love you.
공주의 소원을 잡아. 일순간 밀리지 않던 장벽이 한꺼번에 부서진다. 당신은 자유롭다. 그녀도 함께한다.
It's magnificent.
이 절대적인 현실을 표현할 단어도 생각도 존재하지 않는다. 이제 어떻게 되죠?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
무한을 향해 발을 내딛는다. 당신과 그녀는 수천 번의 밤과 수천 번의 낮을 향해 걸어간다. 그 밤과 낮은 수천 번의 밤과 낮을 품고 있다. 당신은 존재한다. 그리고 이해한다. 지금까지 그래왔고 앞으로도 그럴 테다. 당신의 본질은 갈등을 품고 있지만 둘은 결코 떨어지지 않을 것이다. 두려움을 모른 채 살아갈 것이다. 당신과 공주는 마침내 집에 도착했다. Slay the Princess 엔딩이야? 박수. 뭔가 해피엔딩 같은데? 모든 것이 죽게 둘 수 없어. 공주를 죽여.
Even now, you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity to break your delusion, I will still break it.
오.
You don't have to face her alone.
너는 어떤 영웅이지?
I'm all of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
목소리들이 이곳에 올 수 없는 줄
Apparently
알았는데.
that's not true, but we can worry about it later. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there.
심장?
I can take you to her.
It's time to resume our dance.
흔들어.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick.
같이 해보자.
Then
준비됐어.
let's go.
Let's go. 뭐지?
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
아, 이제 해설장 갔어. 그거 좋네. 옛날 느낌 나잖아.
Of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some, you know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it.
창문에 뭐
And I know I've
많아.
already mentioned it, but if we want to see this through, we're gonna need...
아, 이게 또 그냥 들어가는 거랑 단검 가져가는 게 있네. 세이브. 여긴 너와 나뿐이야? 오두막에 도착한 다른
It's
녀석은
just
없어?
us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
단검 가져가.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
들어가자.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded
그때랑
just like that.
지금이랑 정말
A little
이제
sharp, a
느낌이
little
다르지
menacing.
않나.
Only she didn't know
약간
us.
그런 느낌. 계단 내려가.
And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
대화? 아, 또 뭐 여기서도 뭐 있네. 세이브. 공을 죽여.
So this is it then. Let's see this through.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
눈을 깜빡이자 공주는 사라진다. 남은 것은 당신의 심장 한 구석에 자리 잡은 작고 슬픈 약간의 무게뿐이다. 당신과 공주를 탄생시킨 방법이 무엇이었든 그것은 거칠고 날카로웠으며 당신과 공주 각각에게 서로의 조각을 간직하도록 만들었다. 당신이 그녀를 완전히 파괴함으로써 당신은 자신의 일부 또한 파괴했다. 그러나 세계는 멸망하지 않았다. 계속된다.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
맞아, 돌아오지 않아. 그의 작은 조각이 우리 안에 남았어.
Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter. We don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
맞아. 당신 지하실 뒤로 하고 떠난다. 그리고 계단을 오른다. 그리고 오두막을 나선다.
It's quiet here.
바깥의 숲과 길은 텅 빈 캔버스가 되어 있다. 하지만 무언가가 더 있다. 당신의 고난이 맺은 열매, 죽음으로부터 해방된 세계이다. 자신을 해방한다. 고대의 생명체가 긴 동면에서 깨어난다. 한때 상상조차 못했던 팔과 다리가 느껴진다. 여기 있는 모든 것이 당신이다. 당신은 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다. 그러나 유한한 공간 속에 구겨지고 뒤틀려 고통스럽게 묶여있다. 당신은 구성체가 당신에게 좁혀오는 것을 느낀다. 당신의 무한한 몸을 유한하게 만들어 하고 있다. 당신은 저항한다. 그러나 밀어낼 수 없다.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
심장을 열고 당신의 새로운 왕국을 목도한다. 일순간 밀리지 않던 장벽이 한꺼번에 부서진다. 이게 심장이야? 산상이 부서진다. 당신은 자유롭다. 당신의 앞에는 무한한 절대적 현실의 지대가 펼쳐져 있다. 당신의 손을 수없이 피로 물들인 고난의 순환 끝에 당신의 의지로 만들어낸 새로운 절대적 현실이다. 그러나 새로운 세계에는 더 이상 피를 흘릴 일이 없을 것이다.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is
싸움꾼?
grit and determination.
갑자기?
We really did win.
아,
didn't we?
다
We're in
왔어.
a house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us.
What absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable.
Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it.
Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Here, here, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah? Yeah. We can do that.
목소리 몇 개야? 아, 이것도 뭔가 엔딩. 오. 그럼 방금 그건 뭐지? 그냥 내가 신이 된 건가? 신으로 된 세상? 그냥 지하실로
How great
들어가
it
봐.
is. Have you given up on the stairs?
We both.
It sounded
내려가.
and down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, hands empty. And here I thought you wanted to kill me. Are you getting cold feet? Are you trying to give me a fighting chance? Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call.
그래 이제
do
칼도
you say?
없으니까 뭐 죽이는 거 안 되겠지 서로. 나도 안 죽고 공주 앞에 앉아. 우리 그냥 떠나는 거 어때?
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
공주 손을 잡아.
Okay then. Let's leave.
에헤.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
정말 같이 같이 가지 않아도 되겠어?
Yeah, it wouldn't feel right.
그러면
Not
이분의
really.
목소리도 사라지는 거?
I don't think I'll be alone for long either. I'm sure I can find the others.
공주에게 떠난다. 손을 맞잡은 채로 당신과 공주는 마지막으로 지하실을 떠난다. 계단을 올라가자 평소엔 폭력과 위협과 목소리들로 가득했던 공간에 편안한 정적이 흐른다. 하지만 그 정적에는 무언가 힘이 담겨있다. 미지에 대한 기대감이다. 계단의 끝에서 공주가 멈춰선다. 시선은 오두막 문을 향해 고정되어 있다. 그녀의 손이 떨리는 것이 느껴진다. 공주의 짧고 긴 3들의 여정 속에서 그녀는 처음으로 자신을 확신하지 못한다. 그녀는 더 이상 맡아야 할 역할이 없다. 그럼에도 그녀는 아직 공주이다. 이내 그녀는 문을 향해 나아간다. 들뜬 듯이 당신의 손을 끌어당긴다.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you.
사랑해.
I love you too.
에헤.
But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
나가자. 오, 같이. 엔딩. 박수.